Sure, I was upset yesterday at getting pounded by Alabama 49-10, and I still am today. And I don't ever like to use injuries as an excuse. However, I think it's important as fans that we examine just how injured this team is. Check this out and tell me what you think in the comments.
Look at this. Now, these are guys that were either out before the game, pre-game, that you knew weren't going to play, or were hurt during the game. Some of them came back, but at one time or another, Micah Abernathy, Evan Berry, Tyler Bird, Malik Foreman, just on and on and on. Now, you've got Danny O'Brien dismissed, Preston Williams transferring. That is 19 players. That's 19 folks from your season opening roster. You dressed fewer than 70 players yesterday. It's an 85-man scholarship limit. You dressed 75. 4 offensive linemen were out by the end of the game. 3 freshmen and a redshirt freshman were playing on the offensive line. Burned a redshirt freshman for Marcus Tatum at right tackle. Top 4 linebackers from preseason are out. 4 of the best 5 defenders are out. The Vols were picked to win the East because they had 17 starters back. That was the main reason. Right now, yesterday, you were down to 9 of those guys back. And I got to say, if you'd gone into the season with that roster, people would have said, 4th in the East. 3rd, maybe. Good season. But 9 starters back is what you're down to. Gentlemen, there are a lot of people who told me, we don't want to hear about excuses today. That's an excuse. No injuries. Don't give us any excuses. What do you say to that crowd? Is this an excuse, or is this a reality?
There's a lot of things you could say to that crowd, but I think you do have to take that list and take that into account. I mean, there's no way not to say that you lose your best players on defense. You lose all of those players. There's no way to be the same team. You can't be the same team. The reason it hurts when you lose those players is because the backups didn't beat those guys out. They're not as good. So when you judge a team like this, and especially in a game when you're going up against the number 1 team in the nation, and you're on your 4th big game in a row, emotions are tough, you're beat up, you're banged up, and then you have that happen again, there is an excuse. This was not going to be a good game for these guys no matter what.
365 days ago, we were talking about the fact that Tennessee took advantage of the fact that Alabama played 8 games in a row. They were beaten up. They needed an open date, and the Vols almost beat them in Tuscaloosa. So don't sit there and think, well, you're just making excuses for Tennessee. Said the same stuff in reverse last year about Alabama. We just speak honesty. Or do we? Do you agree that injuries are an issue? Or
I'll tell you what, there's excuses and there's reasons. And the injuries are a reason. And if you want to call it an excuse, that's fine. You reach a point to where you can't function because the guys are inexperienced. They don't know how to line up quickly and correctly. They don't know the techniques. How much better, Will, were you as a senior than you were as a freshman?
A lot better.
I'm going to assume a little bit better experience.
There's a lot of talk of next man up, and I think that's a great theory, and it's what every coach says because you have to say it. Players say it because they have to believe it. It's really malarkey. You're down to linebackers number 5 and 6. Linebackers 1 and 2, Kirkland, Reeves, Maben, they can break the wrong way and they got recovery speed. Jumper and Elliott Berry, they don't have that much.
Doesn't help ease the pain of losing number 10 in a row to Alabama. Get those players back for Atlanta, and it's a different